You could tell the lawyer wrote that statement instead of the publicist because he was being a little combative.
Jay-Z released a statement, I would say almost like immediately once this happened.
The statement is something you can tell it was written by a lawyer. Because there's a point where it kind of gets aggressive. He says, you're going to find out, how I'll handle it.
Why is 50 Cent out here literally footing the court bills for Jay-Z's alleged secret son? Also, the man can keep dragging Jay back into court. And he's not doing it quietly. Nah, he's making sure everyone knows. Word on the street is, 50 is now featuring RHYR, that's the alleged son, in his upcoming documentary about Diddy and Jay-Z.
Who is the most overrated hip-hop star of all time?
Overrated?
Yeah.
Jay-Z, he would say he was overrated. Rather be overrated than underpaid.
Jay got all the trophies, man. That's because he signed that contract.
What contract?
The one with Beyoncé. No, if you don't sign, you don't give him a trophy, she ain't coming.
Because he sold his touring career to Live Nation. They got to keep him hot enough to go get their money back. So they match him up with him, put them together because he got momentum connected to his relationship with Beyoncé and his record with Alicia. It makes sense. It makes sense that it's the Detroit, New York show, but it only makes sense to me because of business. It makes sense because them sold 60 million records more than him. How you put in there like the equals? It's tough for me to say some of these. I sound like a hater, but I don't care.
All right, let's dive into this. The guy at the center of all this chaos? His name is RHYR Satterthwaite. And trust me, this isn't the first time his name's come up. RHYR has been claiming for years that Jay-Z is his biological father. This isn't some clout-chasing TikTok stunt. This dude's been pushing this narrative since he was a teen. Now, he says he's got even more proof to back up his story, and he's not backing down. So here's the scoop. RHYR's mom, Wanda Satterthwaite, says she had a one-night fling with Jay-Z back in the early 90s when she was just 16. Yeah, that alone raises some serious eyebrows. Fast forward, and years later, Wanda signed an affidavit, basically a sworn legal statement, saying Jay was RHYR's dad. She even admitted that she put another man's name on the birth certificate to avoid the drama and legal headaches that would come with naming Jay. From the start, this situation was messy, and Jay-Z? He's been silent through it all. But here's the weird part. He's never agreed to take a DNA test. RHYR and his godmother say they've tried repeatedly to get Jay to agree to it. But every time, Jay's team either shut them down or ignored them entirely. They even claim lawyers were sent in to block any progress. Now, come on, if a DNA test could clear your name in seconds, wouldn't you just do it? That's why people are starting to look at this situation and think something's off. Jay could have easily taken the test, ended the drama, and moved on, but it never happened. Now, here's where things really start heating up. According to RHYR's godmother, who's been pretty outspoken about this whole thing, Jay-Z at one point was actually considering stepping up. She says there were private talks happening, and Jay even showed interest in RHYR's music, with rumors swirling that he might help him get signed. But then, everything came to a screeching halt. According to the godmother, the moment Beyoncé found out about what was going on, Jay's attitude flipped completely. What was once a possible "let's figure this out" became a hard "never contact us again." And honestly, that makes sense. Think about it. This all went down before Blue Ivy was born. At the time, Jay and Bey were reportedly dealing with fertility issues, trying to have their own child. So, if out of nowhere, a grown son popped up, it would have been an emotional gut punch, not just privately, but publicly too. We're talking about Beyoncé and Jay-Z here. Their brand is everything. Family is a huge part of that image. So, when people say Beyoncé might have pushed Jay to cut ties for good, it doesn't seem far-fetched, especially when you realize what's on the line. We're talking about $1 billion empire built on music, fashion, business deals, and a perfect family image. A secret son from another woman could shake all of that to its core. Now, fast forward to today, and people are still pointing the finger at Beyoncé. Some believe she's the reason Jay never took that DNA test. She didn't want anything or anyone threatening their empire. And let's be real, in a world where image is money, that logic makes sense. But guess who didn't buy any of that silence and secrecy? 50 Cent. And let me tell you, when he stepped in, he brought all the smoke.
Oh, she was on a windowsill.
Right.
We was in Vegas. She said, come on, I'm talking to her. She jumped out, she was like, duh, duh, duh. And I'm like, wait, what is you doing? That stuff, that's me and Jay-Z stuff. This ain't got nothing to do with you, girl. Don't come
So Hov wasn't there?
I'm talking to Jay.
Talking to Jay.
As soon as I talked to Jay, she jumped down, come over. I said, oh,
They about to jump you.
You lucky Solange wasn't there.
Yeah, you lucky Solange wasn't there.
Solange was there, I would have had to reboot. Solange was like, popped in that elevator like it was nothing. It was some gangster going on there.
So what
Jay
did B
couldn't
say?
do nothing, huh? What?
So what did B say, or she was just staring at you?
Nah, she came like she was ready. Like I thought something was gonna happen. And I'm like, yo, whoa. She's throwing me off now. Because I don't know exactly how to respond to this. You are still Beyonce. You know, she brought all of the sexy over. With that energy jumping off, and I'm like, what the?
All right, let's talk about 50 Cent and how he just couldn't help himself. You already know 50. If there's a moment to stir up drama or throw shade, he's front and center with popcorn in hand. But this time, he didn't just clown Jay-Z, he dove right in and invested in the chaos. Let's start with the trolling. 50 posted a picture of Jay-Z on a milk carton, like he was missing or something. Classic 50, right? The caption, anybody seen Jay?
This is a victory. The frivolous, fictitious, and appalling allegations have been dismissed. He said the trauma that my wife Beyoncé, my children, loved ones, and I have endured can never be dismissed. He said this 1-800 lawyer gets to file a suit hiding behind Joan Jane. They quickly realize that the money grab is going to fail. They get to walk away with no repercussions. The system has failed. Finish it off by saying the court must protect victims, of course, while with the same ethical responsibility, the courts must protect the innocent from being accused with a shred of evidence.
And then followed it up with, he ain't coming outside till the heat dies down. He turned Jay-Z's possible Secret Son drama into full-blown meme content, and his followers ate it up. But here's the kicker, it didn't stop at memes. Once RHYR's name started circulating again, 50 went from jokes to big moves. He reportedly reached out to RHYR directly and offered to cover his legal fees. Yeah, 50 isn't just publicly supporting him, he's literally paying for the guy's lawyer so this case can keep going. And if that wasn't enough, 50 also said RHYR will appear in his upcoming documentary, the same one supposedly exposing Diddy and Jay-Z. So now this isn't just Instagram beef, it's becoming a full-blown production. A docuseries filled with receipts, testimonies, and legal drama. That's the kind of thing that gets headlines and shakes up boardrooms. Let's be real, this is more than just 50 being petty. This is strategy. 50's had beef with Jay-Z and Diddy for years. And what better way to hit them than through a documentary that brings all their past skeletons into the light, especially when he's giving a platform to someone they've tried to silence. Now, here's the big question. If Jay-Z's been avoiding the DNA test for over a decade, and RHYR really has affidavits and old letters from his mom, why not just take the test and move on? 50 Cent knows that question alone creates doubt, and he's using that doubt as fuel. But what's truly wild is how far 50 is willing to go. This man's not just poking fun anymore. He's a one-man wrecking crew, throwing money, media, and memes into the fire. He's basically saying, if you won't talk about it, I will. And I'll make sure everyone hears it. Now, let's shift gears to Beyoncé. According to insiders, she is not having any of this. Word is, once she found out RHYR might be part of 50's documentary, she lost it. Not publicly, of course, this is Beyoncé we're talking about. But behind the scenes, she reportedly told Jay this needed to be handled immediately. And honestly, can you blame her? For years, she and Jay have built this untouchable, ultra-polished power couple brand. Every move is calculated. Every image is curated. They've worked hard to protect that legacy, not just for themselves but for their kids. And now, here comes 50 Cent with a documentary that could blow it all up. If RHYR goes on camera, shares his receipts, tells his story, and 50 packages it with footage and documents, maybe even clips of Jay avoiding legal steps, it's no longer just gossip, it's evidence. And that makes it real for a lot of people who've been on the fence. Plus, we've heard the rumors for years that Beyoncé wasn't exactly thrilled when this Secret Son story first came up. Some people close to the situation have said she told Jay not to take the DNA test because back then, it was just the two of them, no Blue Ivy, no twins. A grown son suddenly popping up would have been a huge mess. And now that old mess is back and louder than ever. This is why the documentary situation isn't just annoying to Beyoncé, it's threatening. If this blows up, it doesn't just damage Jay's image, it chips away at her brand, too. And we all know Beyoncé doesn't play when it comes to her legacy. Let's be real, if you were Beyoncé, and your husband had this kind of mess lurking from the past, what would you do? Would you tell him to take the test and end it? Or protect the brand and hope it all goes away? Drop your take in the comments because I know opinions are flying on this one. But hold on, we're not done yet, because the drama's officially hit the courts. Alright, here's where things start getting heated legally. Jay-Z's legal team recently tried to shut down the whole paternity case once again. Yep, they filed motions calling it nothing but a decade-long harassment. Their argument? RHYR Satterthwaite has no legal grounds because this case has been dismissed in multiple courts before. They were hoping the judge would just toss it and call it a day. But guess what? The court wasn't having it. The judge denied Jay's request to dismiss the case. In fact, the court hit back and told Jay-Z he must respond to the allegations by July 18th. That's not some vague deadline, it's a hard, real one. The judge is basically saying, enough dodging. Either show up, or things are moving forward without you. And let's be honest, this changes everything. Up until now, Jay's been avoiding the courtroom, dodging DNA tests, and letting his lawyers do the heavy lifting. But now? The court wants direct answers from him. That means Jay either has to face this head-on or risk letting the courts make decisions without him. And here's why this matters. RHYR isn't backing down. This isn't just some fame grab. At least, not from what he's been saying. According to court documents and public statements, he's been trying to prove this since he was a teenager. His late mother always told him Jay-Z was his father. So now, RHYR says he just wants closure, not